Conditionals. The first conditional has the present simple after if, then the future simple in the other clauses. If plus present simple, will plus infinitive. It's used to talk about things which might happen in the future. Of course, we can't know what will happen in the future, but this describes possible things which could easily come true. If it rains, I won't go to the park. If I study today, I'll go to the party tonight. If I have enough money, I'll buy some new shoes. She'll be late if the train is delayed. She'll miss the bus if she doesn't leave soon. If I see her, I'll tell her. Let's look at the difference between the first conditional and the zero conditional. The first conditional describes a particular situation, while the zero conditional describes what happens in general. For example, if you sit in the sun, you get burned. That's zero conditional. Here I'm talking about every time a person sits in the sun, the burning is a natural consequence of the sitting. But if I say, if you sit in the sun, you will get burned, that's the first conditional. Here I'm talking about what will happen today. Another day might be different. The second conditional uses past simple after if, then would, and the infinitive. If plus past simple, would plus infinitive. We can also use were instead of was with I, he, she, it. This is mostly done in formal writing. It has two uses. First, we can use it to talk about things in the future that are probably not going to be true. Maybe I'm just imagining it. For example, if I won the lottery, I would buy a big house. If I met the Queen of England, I would say hello. She would travel all over the world if she were rich. She would pass the exam if she ever studied. But I know she never studies, so this won't happen. Second, we can use it to talk about something in the present which is impossible because it's not true. For example, if I had his number, I would call him. But I don't have his number, so it's impossible for me to call him. If I were you, I wouldn't go out with that man. But I'm not you, so it's not going to happen. Let's look at the differences between the first and the second conditionals. The first conditional describes things that I think are likely to happen in the future, while the second conditional talks about things that I don't think will really happen. It's subjective. It really depends on my point of view. For example, if I say, if she studies harder, she'll pass the exam. That's the first conditional. And here, I think it's possible she will study harder, so she'll pass. But now let's look at this example. If she studied harder, she would pass the exam. This is the second conditional. And here, I think that she won't study harder, or it's very unlikely, so she won't pass. This kind of conditional sentence is different from the first conditional because this is a lot more unlikely. We make the third conditional by using past perfect after if and then would have done. If plus past perfect, would have done. It talks about the past. It's used to describe a situation that didn't happen and to imagine the results of the situation. If she had studied, she would have passed the exam. But really, we know she didn't study, so she didn't pass. If I hadn't eaten so much, I wouldn't have felt sick. But I did eat a lot, so I did feel sick. If we had taken a taxi, we wouldn't have missed the plane. She wouldn't have been tired if she had gone to bed earlier. She would have become a teacher if she had gone to university.